Interview with Ryan Jaunzemis, American-born virtuoso with Latvian roots, written by Robert Punders. Question 1, INLINE.LV. What's up, Ryan? I was visiting one of the biggest rollerblading forums called bmag.com, and the topic with your name got my attention. Your surname, Jaunzemis, sounded so Latvian-like. I couldn't resist to find out more about you, and contacted you immediately. Would you please introduce yourself? Ryan, Sveiki to all you bladers out there in Latvia. And thank you to Robert Punders for doing what you do. My name is Ryan Jaunzemis. I am 34 years old, and I am from Los Angeles, California, from a town called El Segundo. Question 2, INLINE.LV, a professional rollerblader with Latvian roots in the mid-90s. So, when exactly did you start aggressive inline street skating, and what was the time when you became pro? Ryan, I started skating back in '96. Funny enough, I was supposed to be starting on the varsity football team at El Segundo High School that year. One day on my way home from football practice, I saw some random dude who was dressed in all black and was flying down the street on a pair of black rollerblades. All of a sudden, this mysterious-looking skater jumps up onto the top of a nearby picnic table, and then jumped off of the end of it, busting out a mad 360. It was the coolest shit I'd ever seen. After I got home, I ran straight into my room, tossed all of my football gear into the corner of my bedroom floor, never to be worn again, got my mom to take me over to Big 5 Sporting Goods to buy me a pair of rollerblades Lightnings, and started skating around later that evening. I showed my best friend Danny Lynch my skates, and he got a pair of rollerblades boxcars, and we started skating every day after that, like 16 hours a day, planning upon becoming the best rollerbladers ever. We were addicted. A while later, we found other people who greened it, and the two of us quickly became fully immersed within the aggressive inline skating community. The two of us were getting exceedingly good at a remarkably fast rate. Drop rocket fish braining 25 and 30 step handrails, busting misty flips down 8 stairs, and grinding through heart attack kinks. A few months later, I started filming and editing my own skate videos on an old high 8mm camcorder, and began submitting my videos to different skate companies. Danny and I later picked up our first sponsor, Play It Again Sports in Manhattan Beach, along with several other small local skate companies one day while Danny was reading through the Manhattan Beach Reporter, a local newspaper, and stumbled upon an ad from a new company called Soap Shoes. A new skate shoe company staking claim that they had just invented the world's first pair of quote-unquote grind shoes, and were looking to sponsor aggressive skaters in the local area to begin testing their prototype models. Danny and I both got sponsored by Soap. We started receiving free shoes, free clothes, and were getting paid a salary of $200 per hour for photo and video shoots, and starred in their national and international sales commercials that were played around the world in stores such as Journeys, Pacific Sunwear, and Gadzooks. Soon after that, we ended up touring around the country with them. It was really exciting. We were skating and swiping on some of the most badass rails on the planet, and were being seen on TV in all of the major retail shoe shops that carried Soap shoes. Later, Brendan Smith, fellow pro skater and swiper, created a new company called Relate Video Productions and sponsored us both on his team. Relate later released the famous full-length Soap videos 1 and 2 on VHS, taking the sport of swiping and the swiping community as a whole to the mainstream. Question 3, INLINE.LV. What was your sponsor back then, and how long did you skate as a pro? Ryan, I got sponsored by Soap in December of '97. Soap shoes were skate shoes, just like Vans or Etnies. I still rollerbladed, but I got more into swiping as that was what was now paying the bills. Being only a junior in high school and making $1,000 a day for a full video shoot was pretty fucking awesome. I remember when I cashed my first check, I felt like a baller. Question 4, INLINE.LV. I found out about swiping as a sport only a month ago when I saw your video, although I knew some people were doing it when Rollerblade made their first grind shoes, and I think Salomon did some too. Was the sport really that big? Ryan, soaping was pretty big back in the late 90s. In many ways, I would describe soaping as even more aggressive than that of rollerblading, simply for the fact that I was now able to grind on objects that were completely inaccessible in the world of aggressive inline skating. You can't really session on blades on the tiled fountain in the middle of the Galleria Mall, or bust out on the rails inside of a theme park such as Disneyland or Magic Mountain. But with soaps, I was now able to hit any rail anytime, anywhere. I was even able to grind on random objects such as logs, 2x4s in Home Depot, or even secret hidden rails on hiking trails on the sides of mountains like the ones inside Yosemite National Park in Northern California. You could grind anything. Question 5. INLINE.LV. Why did you move from aggressive inline skating to soaping? Ryan, soap sponsored us as skaters, though the company, Soap, itself never wanted to consider soaping as a sport. They thought walking down the street from point A to point B should not be considered a quote-unquote sport, though many soapers out there would disagree. Their viewpoint was that the people they sponsored were pro-bladers, or people that they believed skated at a pro level. People such as myself, Brendan Smith, Danny Lynch, Paul Cervantes, and Eddie Ramp. Here is the original 1997 Soap team. Soap was also giving us free skates and free skate wheels, as they wanted us to continue rollerblading just as we always had been before. It was nice. I was able to rock my soaps in class during school and represent to everyone that I was a skater. Other kids who skated, who were also wearing soaps, could now recognize others easily within the community. It turned into a great way to spark up a conversation with a fellow skater. That is, hey, you got soaps. Do you skate too? Hell yeah, I skate. Cool. Let's go bust out on the gold rail in the quad after class. Question 6. INLINE.LV. Can you compare these two, pro rollerblader versus pro soaper? Ryan, yeah, people are always hating. I always hear stupid comments such as, why don't you just rollerblade? Or, get a fucking skateboard, fag. The randomness always makes me laugh because those are the people who obviously don't get it. The thing is, you can't always be wearing your skates, but you might still want to grind. Skateboarding as well. Sometimes your skates or skateboard are in your locker, but if you and a friend are walking from 5th period gym over to 6th period history class, or something like that, rather than having to walk over to your locker, to then have to take off your shoes, and then to have to spend the next 5 or so minutes lacing up and ratcheting together your skates just to go out for a quick 5-minute session on a curb, and to then have to return back to your locker 5 minutes later to change out back into your shoes again, etc., 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 etc. Instead, why not just be wearing soaps already? This way you can just walk right up to any object, curb, ledge, planter, handrail, etc., and bust it. In the end, it's just a funner way to get from point A to point B. Question 7. INLINE.LV. You have written Soap Shoes Secret Tips and Tricks and the new Soap Shoes Trictionary version 2.0. Both are sold on Amazon.com. Are there people still interested in soaping? Ryan, I hear from kids all over the world. Actually, not just kids, but even adults in their mid to late 30s and even early 40s. People still want to soap. There are small communities rising up all over the planet. I believe the biggest underground soaping scene right now is in Australia with the Melbourne Soapers group on Facebook, led by famous soaper Greg Kerlin, who is also a dope rollerblader. Question 8. INLINE.LV. Please tell us more about your family roots and your Latvian surname. Ryan, my grandfather Herbert Arnold Jaunzemis the first came over from Latvia on the boat. My dad Herbert Arnold Jaunzemis the second was the first generation born in America. And now, here I am. Originally my family's surname was Jaunzem, which I know in Latvian is pronounced Jaunzem, which was later Americanized into Jaunzemis, pronounced Jaunzemis. People have been mispronouncing my last name since grade school. Some guys try to make fun of it, but the ladies like it because it's different, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I also have two awesome boys of my own who I love very much, Aaron and Ryan Jaunzemis, who live in Newcastle upon Tyne, England, as their mother Sarah is British. Question 9, INLINE.LV, have you ever been in Latvia or know anything about it? Ryan, I've never been to Latvia. I've heard it is a beautiful place full of many beautiful women, and I'd love to visit there someday. I would definitely be interested in finding out more about my roots there. Question 10, INLINE.LV, you are considered an American virtuoso, pro rollerblader, pro swiping, tattoo artist, lifestyle coaching and rapper. What else should we know about you? Is there a favorite profession for you? Ryan, honestly, I'm just me. I think a lot of people have some really weird perceptions about me because they see this public persona of me doing so many different things that I think it confuses most people. I get bored if I stay in one spot for too long, physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Really, I'm just a laid-back party guy. I work hard, but I play even harder. I love kicking it. I love to party. I feel like life is short. 28,000 days, that's all you get, and I want each one of those days to be fun, exciting, joyous, wholesome, and fulfilling. I stay active, I stay motivated, I stay productive, and I'm always trying to better myself as a human being and to become a better man. I just want to get the most out of life while I'm here on this planet. I always try to do the best that I can do, each and every day. I lead by example, I'm devoted to helping others rise up, and to help them become the best that they can be. All in all, I am just here trying to do my part in helping out to make this world a happier, brighter, more vibrant, and more colorful place to live. Question 11, INLINE.LV, any shout-outs? Ryan, I'd love to give a few special shout-outs to all the homies from the soap team. Danny Lynch, Brendan Smith, Paul Cervantes, Eddie Ramirez, Ben Kelly, Chris Fox, Joey Barbera, and Sandy Murray. I gotta throw some shout-outs to my boys up there in Canada, Greg Cumberford and Natalie at soapshoe.com. I def want to give a big shout-out to my homeboy Jose Ruiz in the dirty South. Props to my boy Eric Hegland up in NorCal. Def some big shout-outs to Greg Krellin, Annabella Brock, Ryan Pyronoy, and everyone else out there in Melbourne and Queensland. Thank you for all the support, fellas, and soap it up all you adrenaline monkeys. Big ups to all my fans out there who continue the sport of swiping, you know who you are. Thanks everyone for the likes, shares, and shout-outs on my vids and posts. Mad love to all you bladers out there, and everyone else in the aggressive inline skating community. Thank you INLINE.LV, and thank you Latvia Paldies. Cheers mates. This is Ryan Jaunzemis, peace.